Lizzy with Long Distance Gamers, and today I'm going to be talking about all the games I backed on Kickstarter and the one on Gamefound. So there are quite a few to go through, so let's go ahead and get started. So the first one I backed is Darwin's Journey. Now, I will note that I am going through chronologically the order in which I backed them, so this isn't in any way, shape, or form going over how much I'm anticipating these games. But for starters, starting the year off with Darwin's Journey, a cute little worker placement game where you're trying to go through the journey that Darwin went. You need to stay ahead of the ships, but I've been kind of not watching too much of it because I want to actually enjoy the game when it comes, because I love this theme. I love science themes and I love historical themes, so combined together, this is an awesome one for me. Okay, now my second back for the year was Radlands, and it has actually been delivering to backers, so this one was a great turnaround. So February until I think November, and in November, beginning of December. So really good. Unfortunately, I love the artwork, but it wasn't a great game for me per se. I'm still trying to play it, hoping that maybe there'll be that awesome combination of camps that just make this game really sing. I just haven't found those yet. But right now it's sitting at a 6 out of 10, so maybe some rules changes or something could really make this up. We'll see. My third back for a year was actually an expansion, so this is Posthuman Saga: The Journey Home. So loved Posthuman Saga. Love pretty much everything Mighty Boards does, so they reached out seeing if we wanted to do a preview for this expansion, which of course we were like, yes, we want to play that as soon as possible. So we got like a print and play version of it, and really nice. I mean, a 9.5 out of 10 overall, so really good. Really looking forward to getting the actual nice production that Mighty Board does. Now number 4 is Terraforming Mars: The Ares Expedition. So it has been delivered to many of the backers, if not all of them. I haven't kept track after I got my own copy. There was the issue with the subpar retail version being released before this, but it was worth the wait, really, because the component quality and the extra cards that we got on the Kickstarter version were much, much better than that version that you can get at Target. But this is a nice Terraforming Mars themed game. You're in that universe, and it's a tableau builder. It does use the card selection in Race for the Galaxy. I actually remembered it. It's very nice, so you can choose to play one, but if someone else is already going to activate that and you already know that they're going to be activating that, then you can play a different card to activate something else and get a little bit more of a benefit on that, while still getting what you need from the other one. So I find that really interesting. So I do rate this a 9 out of 10. Really enjoy it. Want to get it to the table again. So my number 5 backed was Dawn of Titan. So this is one that we actually got to play on Tabletop Simulator. So our preview rating was 8 out of 10 based on those Tabletop Simulator plays. So I did really enjoy it. It is really cute. You can go move around and then flip the ships. It has some very science themes in it as far as like being able to move. So I really like that. I'm interested in getting the physical copy because we play games remotely with the physical copies, not with electronic stuff. So I definitely prefer the physical. So I'm curious to see if my rating would change or if it will stay the same based on the plays with the Tabletop Simulator. Number 6 is Everdell: The Complete Collection. So I had already gotten the base game for this, but it was actually cheaper for me to just go into the all-in pledge than to get all of the other expansions separately, so that's what I did. And then I ended up selling my Everdell copy, which I'm sure the other person who got it was happy because they were able to get it for below market value, and I was happy for being able to recover some of the money that I had spent on it. But it is currently in pre-production, and what is really awesome is they just did an Everdell for Everyone announcement, which made it so that that husband-wife combo that was very heteronormative and kind of to my game group was now that husband-wife is harvester-gatherer. Can be a combination, like there's male and female for both the harvester and the gatherer, so you can have the LGBT combinations. So it's a very much more inclusive game. I do rate the base game a 9.5 out of 10. Absolutely adore it. And with that LGBT fix, very, very happy with this product. Number 7, now this one's a beautiful one. Eternal Palace. So this one is a dice worker placement, which is a mechanism that I really enjoy. Rolling the dice, and then based on those values, they can go in certain places. So it's not straight worker placement where you just place a worker in different areas, which is still fun. But now you have that chance and a little bit of luck. So while you can have a perfect strategy, you also need to be able to pivot at any point in time based on the rolls of your die. So we're really looking forward to that. Pledge managers have been sent. I don't think that they've been closed yet, and so they're just in pre-production. Really looking forward to getting this one. Number 8 is Floriferous. Now this is one that I've already gotten. We have an unboxing. I've played the solo many times. I've only played the multiplayer a few times. So I want to play the multiplayer a few more times before I do a review. But right now as it stands, it's an 8 out of 10. And it's been delivered to most, if not all, backers as well. It's a beautiful relaxation game. Really enjoy this one. My number 9 backed was Long Shot the Dice Game. Now I'm not huge on roll and writes, but this one seemed to be more of a racing game than a roll and write. Like it seemed like the roll and write was just there because your money that you have on a board. So that way you can just erase the money and write on, so that way it has to have less components. So it's not a true roll and write, in my opinion at least. But it's on the way to fulfillment, so hopefully we'll be getting to play this one soon. Number 10 backed is another expansion, Canvas Reflections. Now our group has absolutely adored Canvas. It is a contender for the top 10. I think it was in Kitty's top 10. I just want to play it a few more times to make sure that the replayability is there before I give it that top 10 status. But it's a really awesome game where you have 3 different see-through cards, like sort of like a Mystic Veil, where they combine together to make something, except you're combining them together to make a beautiful painting. And then there's little swatches on the bottom that you are basically trying to collect those to be able to score the points. This one makes it so that there's mirror images and just more cards, and I cannot wait to play. It's such a beautiful game and such a fun game, while it still provides really intense decisions. My number 11 backed is My Father's Work. Now this one is only on Kickstarter. I don't think that they're going to retail if I remember right. So this one, if you want it now, you might have to go and pay aftermarket prices, or maybe directly through Renegade's website. I'm not 100% sure. But this is another really cool worker placement game where you're going through different years, where you are going through different generations essentially. It sounded pretty cool. So that plus the non-ability of getting it retail, I was like, yeah, I'm definitely going to go ahead and back it, even though it was a little bit on the higher side for price point. So it was a little bit harder to do, but hopefully it'll be well worth it. Renegade's a good game company. They usually produce high quality games. So my expectations are pretty high for this one. My number 12 backed for the year is Vivid Memories. Now this is abstract drafting. It has these really pretty gem looking thingies that you take and you use. And I'm not 100% sure on how the gameplay works on this, but it should be delivered soon. So hopefully I can get it to the table, get it played, figure out what I really think about it. But it's just a beautiful game and I really like abstracts, and Floodgate Games has had some really pretty amazing games in the past. So I went ahead and I supported this one. My number 13 is Buru, however you pronounce that. But this is action drafting. This is one where you're just journeying through different islands, if I remember right, and just doing things that I don't really remember what it was about this game. I watched Rado play it and it looked really good, so I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and back it. My number 14th backed was Castlescape. So this is deck building area control, but it reminded me of that, you know, that dots game where you have all those dots and you draw a line, and then once there's, you know, can close in 4, you put your initials in it and it can cascade down and around. That's what this game pretty much reminded me of. So I'm really excited about getting this game. Manufacturing has started, so we will see what happens with that and how we feel about the game. Number 15th backed was Top Pop. I did not expect this one to back, but I come across it on Dice Tower Crowdsurfing. Looks like a cute little set collection. I thought it was also had some bidding, but I'm not quite sure how that fit in. Really, the caps were uber cute, so I was like, I'm gonna back it just for the caps. But Pledge Manager should be opening soon, so we will see how this game plays. So this is the only one that I backed on Gamefound for the year. Divinus by Lucky Duck Games. So this is like a legacy tile laying game where you're also rolling dice. I'm not quite sure what it is, but there's like an app that you use, or that will be used with this campaign, where you can explore different things, and then like the app will be. So I'm wondering if it's kind of sort of like Mansions of Madness, where the app will just tell you what's going on and will provide story and immersion. I'm just really curious how this is going to work out. It's currently in pre-production. The pledge manager was able to add shipping, so coming along. My number 16 packed was Excavation Earth. It belongs in a museum. This is of course another expansion. So Excavation Earth was a 10 out of 10 for me. Absolutely adored the game. So I reached out to Mighty Boards and asked if there was any way I could get a pre-production copy, or a review copy of the It Belongs in a Museum, and it's actually over there because I got it kind of later in the campaign, so they didn't have me send it along. But absolutely adore this one. It's an economic game, really heavy, and of course in Mighty Boards fashion, it takes over the entire table, because this is a huge board with beautiful artwork, and it's really a good game. And It Belongs in a Museum just adds just a little bit more, where now you have this museum board where you can go and display your findings. But it's really good. Looking forward to getting the actual production version of this so that I can play on Mighty Boards great complete versions. Number 17 was Flamecraft. So this is a really cute worker placement game with these cute little dragons. I went with just the basic version, so I don't have all the dragon minis. I did back the $5 one that I think was a pink dragon, so I'll get a pink dragon, which, pink and purple are my favorite colors, so I'm pretty happy about that. But you're just going around and you just do different things with dragons, and it's cute, and I really look forward to this one. Number 18 is Wild Serengeti. So this is one that you're trying to set up patterns and then take pictures. You'll have a pattern set up, you'll take a picture, and I don't know if they get removed or if they just stay put and you just score that one. But that's basically what you're doing. You're just trying to get the animals in specific areas so that your picture looks awesome. So number 19 is The Spill. There's been a huge oil spill, which is just way too common in modern day. It's a cooperative game, so you're trying to save the animals. Unfortunately, this is a theme that is very hard-hitting, and I would like a way to stop spills from happening. Maybe one day we can become less oil dependent. Along the same thematics, number 20 is Earthrising, 20 Years to Transform Our World. So this is a co-op area majority where you're trying to save the world. We're trying to make it so that the world doesn't have all the issues that it does have and stop the extinction of the human race, essentially. I think that's the main point of it. But they've been doing some research on, I can't remember if it's the cards or booklet that goes along with it. One of those they're still researching, so hopefully soon it'll go into production and then we can play it. Number 21, so this is one that Kitty put on her top 10 list of all-time games. It's an 8.5 out of 10 for me, a really good game, so we were able to play an actual prototype copy of it. Now there is now a campaign legacy type of thing. I think it's just a campaign, but a design that's based around the different fleet types. And it's a really interesting game that is a lot more to it than what you initially think. You get your ships, and that's all you get for the beginning. At the beginning of the game, that's all you get for the entire game. And then, your enemies are attacking you, so you see your fleet slowly deplete, but you also are trying to negotiate with them, be like, hey, why don't we just have an alliance? Kitty and we need to get rid of Brooks. He is getting way too powerful, so let's just focus on him for now, and hopefully come out ahead. Number 22 is Artisans of the Splendid Veil. It was designed from the ground up to be inclusive of the LGBT family. So this is a cooperative storytelling game where you each have different books. I might have a story that, includes like this, and then it has this gap saying someone else has a part of this story, so then they will read from their book. And then if we're looking at the same picture, there'll be a picture in our book that will have a different number in different places. So like, I might have 302 over here, well that player over there has 127 in this other place. So I'm like, hey, we should really look at this. Number 23 is Birdwatcher. So this is a set collection tableau builder, so I am wondering how different it will be from Wingspan. The theme is obviously very similar. You're watching birds, you're growing your tableau of birds and wingspan. So I'm kind of curious how much overlap there will be, but the artwork seems to have a different feel, which is great. I love nature themed games, not as much as Brixie. Brixie nature themed is an instant back. And number 24 is Hegemony, Lead Your Class to Victory. Now this is an economic simulation game where you're doing worker placement and hand management. You'll play in different ones, so like there'll be the worker class or the capitalist class, and then there's also the middle class and the state. Now I believe that there is AI automation for all of them except for the state, but you'll be able to play as multiple different ones. So I am really looking forward to getting to play this, getting to see how the economy works in different ways, because I mean I work at a local factory, so I'm definitely in the worker class. It'd be interesting to see how the state struggles to, you know, try to make the capitalists and the workers happy, trying to bring up the middle class, you know, with education and medical availability, and help the worker class with that as well, of course. So it'll be interesting to see the different push and pull that this game will provide. Number 25 is Free at Last. Now, throughout this campaign, I learned more about history than I did in my American history class, at least as far as the struggles for racial equality that we are still fighting today, which is unfortunate. But this is a worker placement semi-co-op, so I'm a little bit nervous about the semi-co-op because that has to be done really well for it to usually be successful. But basically, you're just different organizations that have helped out in past and present, and you're trying to make the most impact. You're trying to all be enough impactful to move the movement forward, but you want to have the most impact. So I find that interesting. I feel like I'm going to learn a lot more about history with this one. So hopefully it'll be a great game as well. Number 26, just look at the designer name. I mean, Vito Lasarda. I've been really wanting to try his game, The Gallerist, I think, as well as Vinos, which Vinos is in Cabs, which I'm going to be working on doing a top 10 list for the games that I want to play in the Cabs library. So keep an eye out for that one. I've been really wanting to play this. Brooks said that he was interested in this, so I'm like, I'll back it. I will totally back it so that we can play it, so that hopefully we can play some more of these really heavy games. We will see, because this one, there looks like to be a lot going on, and I am so looking forward to having that brain burn that's going to make it so that I will want to have Excedrin handy. My last back for the year is Beast, although this expansion I believe ended October 28th. I just found it on December 27th. We are doing, as a group, we're going to be doing a 2022 anticipated games list. While I was looking at the games that are coming out in 2022, I saw this one and I was like, oh my goodness, it was on Kickstarter. So I looked, saw that the campaign had ended, but there was a pre-order, so I quickly pre-ordered this one. But A Hidden Movement, One vs. All is ones that Kitty loves to play, so I figured this is one that she would really enjoy. Brooks also backed it. Now we'll have a copy on each side, so we will be able to really easily play this one. The artwork is absolutely beautiful with this, so I'm really curious about how this is going to work, because I haven't heard of any of those, and it kind of makes me a little bit nervous that the designer, artist, and publisher all have the same last name. That is all the ones that I backed. Now for 2022, we are going to do the anticipated list. I chose to make it so that my list will include the ones that I have not purchased yet. So my 2022 is going to be all new to me, all ones that I just did not know about, did not look at before I was pulling up those games that are coming out. So I have some that I'm really anticipating, really hoping they're good. So go ahead and keep an eye out for that list. But until next time, just remember to have fun, be present, and be you. Thank you all for watching. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to reach out to us. We would love to hear from you. Also, if you find value in our content, please like, comment, or subscribe. Let a friend or family member know that we exist. Help us spread our channel and bring remote gaming to a table near you. Thank you very much, and have a great day. Okay, so you're still here. That means you get to see this Easter egg. So this is my list of the 2022 anticipated, and you'll see some numbers, you'll see some player, and then a number off to the side. Wonder what that means. If you watch the video, I'll tell you. But if you do see this, put the why those in the comments. I'm just really curious, how many of you stuck around and saw this?